Suikerbosrand is one of Gauteng's top grassland reserves, with good birding all year round. Simply Birding visited recently to see if any of the winter specials had arrived for the season. And one of our first targets was fairy flycatcher. We met up with a small group of Simply Birders to try our luck.
Excellent.
Ja, so as jy 'n gemaklike posisie bind, ons maak gemaak. Daar, is die oor op die skaal.
Slowly we birded the car park on a beautiful winter morning.
Waar is die muis voor? Die laksman. Waar is die southern fiscal?
And managed to pick up familiar chat. And then we heard the call of the fairy flycatcher. Setting off now for the circular drive. Had a good morning in the parking lot here. Aside from the fairy flycatcher, also got a brief lone orange river white-eye and a group of Cape white-eyes. So that was definitely the highlight for the morning so far. So we'll see what we get on the drive. Something on the side of the road there.
Yes.
That looks up. That's mountain wheat here.
Mountain wheat, yeah. That's nice. That's nice. It's a bulbul, but I can't see which one. Red eye. Is it a red eye? Red eye. I haven't seen a dog cap yet.
You get both here. This is very much the cut over point.
Yeah.
And I've seen one or two here. They do hybridize. So I've seen one or two with a indistinct red eye ring. So you do get even the hybrids here.
Okay. Okay. What's that? Just go back to this tree. Slowly. Sounds like a buzzard.
Oh yes, it's the alarm call of bar-throated apalus.
Go back a little bit more. Oh, there he goes. Right in the middle of the bush, right at the bottom. There he goes to the right. There he goes. Because it's bar-throated apalus.
Yes.
Yes.
It's got that call that reminds you a bit of a little sparrowhawk. That alarm call, at least.
Yeah. There he is. How do you differentiate between an alarm call and the normal call?
Well, just what it's used for.
Yeah.
But then obviously you need to know that bird's range of calls. So there isn't a set of an alarm call. It's more a case of you happen to know that a particular bird has this particular alarm call.
Isn't it more generally that the alarm call is more shriller than the...
Yeah, and they tend to be higher pitched.
Higher pitched, that's what I mean.
Yeah, because it's not as easy to tell the direction of where it's coming from. So when there's a predator, you don't want to exactly give away your location,
Okay.
yet you want to warn everyone else. Okay, up top here the birding gets hard. It's often windy. and you don't easily see things. You've really got to keep your eyes peeled. The top of the ridge is some of Gauteng's best montane grassland birding. And here's the most brilliant example, and I use this in my LBJ talks, about the problem with subjective terminology, like sickle-winged chat's got longer legs. So there's a famous Blackadder sketch, and Blackadder's talking to Percy. Yeah, so in the sketch, Blackadder's talking to Percy, and Blackadder's about to marry the Spanish infanta. And Percy says, you know, the Spanish infanta's eyes are bluer than the blue stone of Galveston. So he says, okay, that's very interesting. So he says, and what about the stone? So he says, well, it's incredibly blue. And he says, and the infanta's eyes are even bluer than that. So he says, have you ever seen the blue stone of Galveston? So he says, no, I haven't. And he says, and have you ever seen the Spanish infanta's eyes? He says, no, I haven't. So he says, so what you're telling me is something you've never seen is slightly less blue than something else you've never seen. And that's the problem. If you regularly bird and you bird two species that are similar, yes, you can look at one and pick it out. But for the most birders who are not looking at sickle-wing and familiar chatter, you know, with a 5 millimeter difference in leg length, if I ask you to make that assumption, you're dead in the water. Exactly, yeah.
White on the edges of the tail, quite a dark red crown.
I think Levalens.
Levalens Cisticolas, yeah.
And this is the place that confounds everyone, because they all know Levalens to be a wetland bird, and it's not. It's a rank grassland bird. And people go, why on earth are you getting Levalens here miles from any water at all?
Here it goes.
It's also here it is. Can you
Just
have a
go
look
a
at
little
it
bit.
quickly?
Go a little bit forward, just a little bit.
You see it there?
Get it. There we are. Too far.
Can you see it, right? Here it is.
Yeah, I can. Oh, I can hear the call. It's Levalens.
The southern black coron, eh?
Northern black.
Northern black.
So this is one of the most fascinating things with some of the LBJs, and particularly LBJs like Levalens Cisticolas. So you can see behind me this rank grassland, and we're miles from water. So we've just stopped for a Levalens Cisticolas, and of course everyone knows Levalens to be a wetland Cisticolas, which is in many respects actually incorrect. And yeah, they're more specifically a rank vegetation bird, so you'll easily get them up here miles from water, and it tends to confuse people from an RD perspective because they're not expecting Levalens Cisticolas at the top of a ridge of hills like Suikerbosrand.
Baboons.
Yes.
Ah, there we go. Ochom en voetsig. Ah, voetsig. Oh, they're lots. Look at that.
As an LBJ, you can tell baboons from other LBJs by the number of legs.
On that rock there,
These, yeah.
on the left hand side, could be a sentinel, but no, it's a bit too grey.
Oh, Eastern long-billed lark.
Is that him calling?
Yeah.
There is open now.
On these rocks, yeah.
On the round rock.
Okay.
Right there.
There. On top.
Yeah.
The closest
there it
rock.
is. You see that? Yeah. The one on the right hand side, right behind the grass. You see the little bird on top of it?
So we've picked up a long-billed lark. We heard it calling. We saw it from the car. So we've taken a stop and trying to see if we can get it for the rest of the group. We got the scope out and we'll see if we're lucky, see if we can get everyone to have a look at it. I think that's a long-billed pipit.
Where's that?
On that rock, it's certainly not calling like an African pipit. I'm pretty sure it's long-billed pipit.
Oh,
Yep, it's long-billed pipit. You can hear that call. Somewhere here, this is a nice spot to stop for a break. Surprisingly, for a grassland reserve, Suikerbosrand has extensive woodland areas too. This greatly increases the diversity of birds within the reserve.
On the pylon. Right
Yeah,
to the
on the
left.
pylon. Yeah, look there. You're quite right. I'll say.
Jackal buzzard. I think. Quick assessment.
Yeah, indeed. Is hy, né?
Yeah, jackal buzzard.
Where are you going to? Where are you going to? You're still going there, front? Right next to the road.
Yeah, in this tree.
Yes,
Right
yeah.
on the top of the back of it.
This one, there he is.
There
Yeah.
he goes.
There he goes, there he goes. And in the
It's like a lark.
It looks like it, huh?
Pipit. Let's see.
Pipit,
Pipit?
yeah. Same one we saw just now, isn't it? White on the eyebrow.
No. This has got a completely plain back.
That's the top one there.
This one's only pumping its tail downwards, which means it's plain backed pipit, not buffy.
There's a dam, eh? Right, yeah.
Sure. And for years, this thing has been bone dry.
There's dust or something on it. Stop.
Is it?
Stop.
Yeah, I'm
There.
gonna actually
Yeah,
pull
you
off
can-
here. We can actually
Yeah,
just stop and scan for 10 minutes or so.
yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Might add a few things. Suikerbosrand with a very respectable, roughly 75 species, which for winter is pretty good. Spent the morning here with two guys, interestingly enough, both named Leon, and we've seen some awesome stuff. So we've gotten fairy flycatcher, which is one of our target species. We got sentinel rock thrush, which we were also after. We also picked up both plain-backed and Nicholson's or long-billed pipits. So really had a good morning and some really excellent sightings. Such spectacular scenery, a diverse range of habitats from bushveld and dams to rolling grasslands. Suikerbosrand is truly an underrated gem.